to anyone who is new. Today's video is just going to be about why women have a problem with self-advocacy and why it is important that women self-advocate, or that they are aware of what self-advocacy is. So please bear with me. I do have my computer right here, and we're just going to look up the definition of self-advocacy really quickly. And the definition of self-advocacy is the action of representing oneself or one's views or interests. So let that sink in. The action of representing oneself or one's views or interests. Something that is really important and that is a part of self-advocacy is self-awareness. And in my journey of becoming more self-aware, I realized that I did not advocate for myself, whether it came to work, whether it came to healthcare. These are things that I'm trying to implement into my life now at 26. So it's never too late to learn about self-advocacy or how to just be there for yourself. Okay, so why is self-advocacy important? Self-advocacy is important because it allows you to stand up for yourself, to be sure about the things that you value, believe in, how you want to live your life. That is what self-advocacy. By critical life skill, I mean that everyone should know how to self-advocate, but unfortunately people do not because of different reasons, especially women. Women are conditioned to not speak up for themselves in our society, and it's something that has to change without the woman being villainized or seen as aggressive, or I don't know, what's the word? Someone who likes conflict. I think that someone who is self-aware does usually self-advocate for themselves. I feel that, and if I look over, I'm sorry, I just have some talking points. I definitely think that someone who self-advocates for themselves is someone who has a realistic view of self. They're able to recognize their strengths and their weaknesses and work on both of those things. So one thing that I want to do is work on my self-advocacy. I realized that I was definitely not conditioned to speak up for myself, and this can show up as far as religion, just overall cultural practices, how society shows and demonstrates the relationships between men and women in film, in everything that people take in and consume. So that's why I say now more than ever, I feel that it is important for people to be able to be okay with saying, yes, I want to do this. No, I don't want to do that. When you know what you want, you are definitely able to enjoy life a little bit more because you aren't worried about the things you aren't sure about. You're only worried about how you know yourself. First thing I want to talk about is the why. Why is self-advocacy is important? Self-advocacy is important because it is a critical life skill. Another why that I want to include in the why women need to be more comfortable with self-advocating is the crucial need to know or recognize the moments where you need support. So for me, I'm an overly independent woman, and I don't like to admit when I need help. I don't even recognize when I need help until it's too late, and I'm just being honest. So if you are not really sure what self-advocacy is, it's really just sticking up for yourself, being sure that the decision that you made, that is one that you want to stick by. Just feeling that you know yourself and you're able to make the decisions that allow you to live life the way that you want, and for some people to get the success that they want. So if you are not really sure what self-advocacy is, it's really just sticking up for yourself, being sure that the decision that you made, that is one that you want to stick by. Just feeling that you know yourself and you're able to make the decisions that allow you to live life the way that you want, and for some people to get the success that they want. It may seem confusing to some people as to what this means, but I just want to throw around some basic examples that will help you to kind of grasp what I mean by self-advocacy. When you think of people who go and vote, that's self-advocacy because they're aware of their right to vote. Well, this is America. If you're out at dinner with friends and they don't bring your food as you requested, are you the person that will actually correct them and get it sent back and get a whole new meal, or are you that person that will just say it happens? Things like that make you aware of if you are actually advocating for yourself. If you are decisive in decisions, things like that are examples. It's literally like one of the direct correlations as to why you may make a lot of decisions in life. Moving on to why women have a problem with self-advocacy. I don't feel that women have a problem with self-advocacy. Some women are not in a position to speak up for themselves. It could literally cost them their lives. Whether it be an abusive relationship, like I said, a cultural thing in other countries, women are not as open to be themselves or speak up like here in America. And even here we have a long way to go, especially for women of color. When you think about why women don't self-advocate, you have to think about how society kind of trains women to be polite, be quiet, and just be present. And when women do speak up, whether it be in the workplace or in general, it's not really that well received. Women are often conditioned to be quiet, polite, and feminine. And they deem their femininity on the approval of society and how they judge them to be a woman. Are you woman enough? That usually determines, for some women, will you speak up when a man asks for your phone number and you know you don't want to give it to him? Or are you just gonna give him a fake number or give him your real number? Because I know when I was in college, like, I didn't want any problems. I would literally just be like, okay, here's my number. But that actually created bigger problems. So that is just like one of many scenarios in which if women were more conditioned to just simply speak up for themselves, no one would see it as a big deal. However, it is definitely still a big deal in today's times. When people think about what it means to be a woman, no one thinks about your career goals, your health care, or your mental health. People only think about or associate being a woman with things like Is she wearing makeup? Is her hair done properly? Is she dressed properly? Is she in heels? Is she in flats? Is she in sneakers? Things like that. Not, oh wow, she's like the first engineer of this company or something like that. No, people worry about the wrong things. And instead of empowering women are often taught to just hush and be quiet, and that leads you to have no boundaries, no self-love, no self-respect. And people with self-advocacy, of course they have self-respect because they're putting what they want and what they need first. They're not worrying about who approves of it, who's happy with it, as long as they're happy with it and, you know, they feel good about what they're doing. And I know that personally, I want that one day, but I haven't gotten there yet. Okay, so moving on to real life examples. The best examples that I could come up with were workplace, healthcare, and mental health. So for our workplace example, I just want to talk about women and their self-advocacy and salary negotiations. Now, anyone who's watching this, if you work with a man, any race, they are definitely not afraid to ask for what they want when it comes to pay or to discuss what their pay is. There's no shame around it a lot of the time, and they're willing to have those types of conversations. Whereas I know for me personally, in the workplace, I've definitely been told to just be grateful that I'm working, just be grateful that I have a job as a woman. And I find that very disturbing and troubling because here I am contributing all of this to this workplace and you need me to do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, but you're not able to respect me and how I feel about the work that I put in. So that is an example of how I'm using this as an example of how self-advocacy is important, because when I was in that situation where I was told I should just be grateful, I just shut my mouth, stood quiet. I said, okay. Because in that moment, I truly felt that I should have been grateful to be working. Yes, not necessarily everything that he said, but I wasn't in a position to speak up for myself because I was accepting whatever task I was given because I didn't understand self-advocacy. Okay, so for our healthcare example, I will again just pull from my personal life. I have been in and out of the emergency room to urgent care, the doctor, OBGYN, gastroenterologist, etc. And every time I would go to my appointments, well, I have a weird relationship when it comes to healthcare. I just have a little bit of trauma around it, and so I am always nervous about going to the doctor, especially because it's just not easy to even trust healthcare professionals as a Black woman, but that is another video. The main point that I want to make is that it took me, 2017, 4 years to get any type of answer about the physical pain I was going through, the mental health issues I was having. Like, I literally, at one point a few years ago, no one really knows this, but I had to go to therapy a couple times a week, and I really wanted to check myself in somewhere because I was not really sure what I was gonna do. And so not to say it would be anything necessarily to someone else, like it wouldn't be anything like that, but just issues, life issues. However, I realized that I was sitting here keeping the paperwork, going to these appointments. I mean, I'm trying to get every test done that I can get under, whatever insurance I had at the time, just trying to make it work. And it really helped me to understand that if I didn't actually continue to fight for it, I need help, I need assistance, I would have never gotten to the point where I am beginning to know what is going on with me, my body, and how it affects like my actual mental health. So this is another example of why self-advocacy is important, because you do have to keep trying, and you do have to be sure. Every time I went, I explained, these are the symptoms, this is what I'm going through, this is what the last person said, here is the paperwork. And now I know what's wrong, so that's why self-advocacy, again, is important. Okay, so for my last example, which I put as mental health, I just kind of want to talk about, again, the expectations that are put on women. I know that as a whole, society has a hard time with not incriminating or villainizing people with mental health issues, especially when it comes to like film and everything. An example is Lifetime, where they always have the woman who escaped the mental health facility and she's out here killing everyone, things like that. While that is entertaining for people, it also downplays women's mental health. I feel that there are a lot of behaviors that people associate with being a woman, and it is actually someone who needs professional help. Women who are violent and abusive, women who, I'm trying to think. I don't want to say these things in a way to also make it seem like anyone with mental health issues, that there is something wrong with them. There is nothing wrong with anyone who has mental health issues. I have mental health issues. I feel that a lot of women are put in this category of being the person who's going to be nurturing, the person who's going to be caring, the person who's going to be kind, the person who's going to be just, your support system. But there's not really a lot of, I don't know what the word is. There's not really much of a foundation when it comes to what women actually need. We literally pay for pads when we cannot control having a period. I think that women should not even have to do anything to take maternal leave. And it's so funny that our bodies are always the main focus. That's all people talk about when it comes to women is, what was she wearing? What did she look like this day? Who is she with? Not what is she into? What project did she just work on? Anything like that. No, it's always about the looks. And while looks are cool, they're great, we all love things that we're attracted to. Everyone wants to be pulled into something, but you really have to stay grounded and, again, aware of yourself in order to advocate for your well-being. And if any of this resonated with you and you just need some tips on how to better self-advocate, the first thing I would say is to definitely decide what it is you really want. What is it that you want from the different aspects of your life? Once you know what you want, you will be able to say no to the things that don't serve your goals. The second thing I want to say is just to believe in yourself. You have to believe that what you're thinking is the right thing to do. Those choices that you make, whatever path that you choose to follow, you have to believe in yourself and that you are willing to do what it takes to help you meet your goals. It just means that you are self-aware. The last tip I want to leave you with is to just express yourself clearly and to speak assertively. This is still something that I'm working on. I feel that I avoid confrontation sometimes, and so I will just stay silent or, yes. But I'm working on simply just saying like, oh well, everyone else may have liked it, but I don't like it. It's not what I'm comfortable with. It's not what I want for myself. And that's the only thing that really matters to me. I definitely want to do a video diving deeper on this, but I'm not really sure where to start. So if anyone has anything that they think I missed, please comment down below or message me on my Instagram or my social media. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.